Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie, for those of you who may be new here. If you are new here, welcome, and thank you so much for your subscription. I am your friendly tarot reader. I can answer any questions that you may have, with the exception of medical and or legal questions. Those I am. Please go to a professional for those. All of my donation information can be found posted at the top of the chat, as well as posted throughout the body of the chat and in the information for this live stream itself. My menu is pretty simple. For a mini reading, it is $7.77 if you donate via Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. It consists of one question, 5 cards. If you use SuperChat, it is $9.99. If you are interested in a full reading, which consists of 10 cards, that is $14.14 if you donate via Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo, and it is $20.20 if you use SuperChat, and that consists of 10 cards, and that can be one question, or it could be divided into 2 5-card mini readings. I also offer, if you want to go deep, get your scuba gear on, I also offer a 15-card in-depth reading. That is $17 and, no wait, sorry, getting the pricing wrong, $21.21 if you donate via Venmo, PayPal, or Cashapp, and it is $29.29 if you use SuperChat. And that, again, consists of 15 cards. That can be done in one question, or it can be split into 2 questions, one 10-card reading, one 5-card reading, or it can be split into 3 individual 5-card readings. It's entirely up to you. I can answer any of your questions, as I mentioned earlier, with the exception of medical and or legal questions. I answer a lot of romance-related questions. That is, I would say, the predominant nature of questions that I do answer. And beyond my regular menu of readings, I also have a few other options for you. I am a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on, who are not on this earthly realm anymore. If that is something that you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. I need to know the person's name, their date of birth, their date of passing, and their relation to you. It really helps if you can email me or over Instagram send me a photo of them. It's not mandatory, but I do need their names, their date of birth, their date of passing. It's pertinent. So please let me know before sending your donation. It's always an honor and a privilege to be able to read for people in any context, but especially in getting in touch with those who have passed on. It's not something that I take lightly at all. And that is $35.35 if you donate using Venmo, PayPal, or Cashapp, or $50.50 if you are using SuperChat. As I mentioned earlier, I answer a lot of romance questions, and for that, there's a couple of different readings that I highly recommend. The first one is my soulmate confirmation reading. That can actually be asked in one of 2 ways. The first way is pretty, I think, straightforward. We simply ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if the person who you are wondering about is indeed a soulmate of yours, and if the answer is yes, they will say why. If the answer is no, they will explain why not. Alternatively, we can also ask your spirit guides and your angels if they give their blessing towards the person who you are questioning. And if they give their blessing, it is a big deal. It doesn't come lightly. It's always a blessing when your spirit guides do give their divinely ordained blessing towards someone in your life, because they are very, very picky about the people that we have in our lives. They want the very, very best for us. So it is, I don't want to say it's uncommon that they give their blessing, but when they do, it really, really means something. So I highly recommend that reading. And if you donate using PayPal, Venmo, or Cashapp, the soulmate reading is $16.16. If you decide if you need to use SuperChat, it is $23.23. Sorry, one moment. I also offer past life regression readings. I've actually been studying past life regression since I was very, very young. Past life regression therapy. I have been regressed. I have regressed others through meditation, guided meditation. It's also done through hypnosis, but that is not something that I have ventured into. But it's something, past life regression therapy is something I've been studying and participating in for essentially my whole life, very, very long time. And I thought I was the only reader who offered past life regression readings, but I actually saw a reader the other day who offered them. Not so sure if they are well versed in what actual past life regression therapy is, because it is an actual healing modality that was developed in the early 1980s. I'm not saying that their readings are not accurate, but I do have I'm very well versed in past life regression. And it was actually, I've had this channel for 5 years now. I've been reading professionally for 5 years. And as I mentioned, I've been doing past life regression for almost 40 years now. And I realized during I'd say the first 2 years of my channel, oftentimes during general readings, that's something that a lot of people ask, is for a general reading, what messages does Spirit have for me? I found that I was actually utilizing or accessing my past life regression knowledge. It was coming through tarot, so it's read differently, not differently through tarot, but I found that tarot is definitely a medium for using or for illustrating past lives, and it is fascinating. Past life regression is fascinating, and it doesn't have to be asked with the intention of what past life was, could be illustrated for me that would help me most in this life. That's a great intention answer or question. But you can also ask, what was the past life of mine that I loved the most, or what was the most successful past life of mine? What was the most troubling past life for me? They're always very, very insightful. I have quite a few clients who get them regularly because we have many past lives. We don't just have one, and especially depending on how old of a soul you are. And it's just a very comprehensive and fascinating way of discovering and learning more about your soul's tapestry. And that is $19.19 if you donate using, again, Venmo, PayPal, or Cashapp. If you decide or need to use SuperChat, then it is $27.27. And as I mentioned earlier, I do answer a lot of questions that are related to matters of the heart, romance questions, and for those, I highly recommend my TFI spread that I developed many years ago. It essentially answers 3 questions in one. It gives you, and it can be done with a mini reading, a full reading, or an in-depth reading, but it tells you what the person's thoughts are towards you, what their feelings are towards you, and what their intentions are towards you, in addition to their general energies. in the current situation and your general energies in the current situation. So it's very, very comprehensive, and it's at no additional donation amount. It's simply a suggestion if you have a question that is romantically related. But on that note, I have done TFI spreads for people that are not romantic. I've done TFI spreads for people's coworkers, bosses, neighbors, family members, friends, animals. I do animal readings, pet energy readings. So that reading is very comprehensive, and a lot of my clients call it my OG love reading, which is very cute, but I changed it to TFI, thoughts, feelings, and intentions, because it is not just for lovers. It can be done for any human or animal connection, for that matter. I also offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings. I offer them by appointment only, via Zoom, just me and you, one-on-one. It's this setup. You see the cards, you see me, you hear me. You can give me all of the backstory and context that you need. And you also get the convenience of it being on your time. It's private. You get your privacy. It's confidential. And I highly recommend it for everyone. I highly recommend that everyone get a private reading at least once. They're always very, very insightful, super comprehensive, and they really help me understand you more, and you understand me more as a reader. And how I can help you in the most effective way. But I really, really recommend private readings for those who are dealing with an issue that has multiple layers to it, that has multiple questions, because when I do my Zoom private readings, there's no limitation to the number of questions I can answer for you. Within the time allotted, and I can usually extend the time if that's needed, but there's no limit to the number of questions that I can answer for you. There's no limit to the number of cards that I pull for you. We just get to the bottom of things. So I highly recommend it for everybody. Just email me or send me a message over DM on Instagram, and we can set that up. The other type of private reading that I offer is at no additional donation amount. If you don't see me online, I haven't been online in a week now. It's a long time for me. I went out of town, and I was very, very busy with my other job last week. So I have not been on in a week. So if you don't see me on for like a week or whatever, or any amount of time, and you have a question that you need me to answer, just send me your donation with your question, and I can answer it within about a 1 to 3 hour turnaround. Maximum 24 hours, but it's never been 24 hours. I always can get to it within 1 to 3 hours. I always gotta have a deck of cards on me. But be sure that you add your question with your donation, because sometimes people just send me a donation without a question. I can't help you if I don't have a question. And those are done either over voice memos, over DMs on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. Or they can be typed via email. And again, those are at no additional donation amount, and they're at your convenience. You don't have to wait for me to come online or ask for me to come online. And you also have that layer of privacy, discretion, that a YouTube live stream just can't offer. So I definitely highly recommend that if privacy is something that you are concerned about, or if you simply need to answer a question and I'm not online for whatever reason. And today we are using the adorable Cat Tarot deck, which was published here in San Francisco by Chronicle Books. I love this deck. It is absolutely adorable. If you are an allurophobe, then you likely won't like this deck. This is definitely a deck for cat lovers. Very, very cute. Anyway, that is my spiel. So with that, the donation queue is currently open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you very, very much. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for your donation, Julie. I hope you are doing well today, love. All right. Sorry, give me one sec here. All right. So you donated 20 pounds. I was just in England. I was just in London. Had a wonderful time. All right, so that comes to 25.65. So we could do a 12 card reading, love. Oh, it's buffering. Oh dear. Can you hear me? Because sometimes the internet it goes wonky, but OBS keeps it on. But it might get blurry, but you should be able to hear me. Why is the sound so low? I have it up as high as I can, as it can go. Let me double check though and make sure that it is as high as possible, and I'll try to speak louder as well. Give me just one moment, love. Thank you. Testing, testing. So I hope that's improved. I really just need to get a microphone for this laptop, and I will speak louder. I apologize for that, Miss Julie. Okay, so you would like a 12 card reading? You got it, my darling. Did you want to do one question, or did you want to split that into 2 6 cards? Because we could do that too. Okay, and I'll try. I'll just try to speak louder too. I apologize for that. You're not the first person to have noted it. It's something I need to take care of. All right, love, you go ahead and post your question. Thank you. Or if you have 2 questions, you can post your first question. Thank you, sweetheart. Just one question. You got it. You got it. Headphones are so much better. Okay, great, great. All right, love. I just want to know, how are things going to go between now and the end of the year regarding my job situation? All right. And what is your sign, love? Capricorn? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job between now and the end of the year? Julie's job situation. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How? Okay, we're good. We're good. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? Thanks, messengers and spirit guides. How will things go with Julie's job situation between now and the end of the year? And are you currently working? We have the Star, my favorite card. Page of Cups reversed. King of Pentacles. The World. Two of Swords reversed. Eight of Cups. Four of Cups reversed. Wheel of Fortune. The Fool reversed. Three of Wands reversed. Three of Swords. And Four of Wands. Okay. New job, actually, and you've been there 4 weeks. Okay. Things look quite promising, love. So you just started 4 weeks ago. And this isn't something, well, I am kind of seeing it in the cards, but this is kind of something more that I've just observed within myself and with others when we start new jobs. And correct me if I'm wrong, but oftentimes when we start new jobs, we can feel like a fish out of water, nervous, anxious, a little bit insecure, because we're new. We're new and we're in a new environment. Even if we're doing a job that we've done before, the new environment, the new protocols, new procedures, they can be sometimes intimidating. Lots of drama already. Okay, so there's lots of drama already. Because I'm seeing ups and downs here. I'm seeing that this is going to be promising for you. First, I told, as I mentioned, the Star is my favorite card. I love this card. It is definitely a card of promise, of hope, of light at the end of the tunnel, development. I don't know if this is a new career move or just a new environment, but you will definitely learn a lot from this job. However, I don't know how long you're going to. I think you're going to stay at your job for a while, but I do see some movement with this Eight of Cups. Possibly moving you to another department. A new place. Yeah. I certainly don't see them sacking you. New place, Same profession. Okay, okay. So you're doing the same thing. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Um, so, and you mentioned that there's already drama. Um, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that the drama is coming from your superiors. Um, I believe that the drama is with coworkers. But of course, correct me if I'm wrong. But what I'm seeing here, especially with this King of Pentacles, is that your superiors have your back. They're not people who abuse their power, um, or their leadership, their position. Um, so if there's drama now, I would definitely communicate that. If you haven't already, I would let it, especially, I mean, you said drama, but if that, if it's toxic, if it's bullying energy, if it's toxic, that is definitely something that I would communicate to your superior, or one of your superiors, because what I am seeing here is that they've definitely got your back. Yeah, I got a girl calling me a B word today for no reason. Okay, yeah, that's not drama. That's bullying. That's abuse. Um, I don't even use that word. I'm saying you said the B word. That's what I say. Like I don't even use that word. I effing hate that word. Um, there's nothing wrong with a female dog, but yeah, being called that's not just that's bullying. That's toxic. That's bullying. And you said for no reason. Um, that needs to be reported. If you haven't already, go to HR. They've got your back. That because I'm seeing that's definitely what I'm seeing. Um, Now I have this handy dandy little black book that has specifically career definitions for certain cards, and I want a little bit of clarity with this Page of Cups reversed here. My manager is a man. He is the same nationality as myself. That is, it's him, this is him, the King of Pentacles. I was gonna say I have a feeling that your manager is male. I wish I'd said that before you said that, because that would have been so cool. But yeah, no, the King of Pentacles is definitely a male um, figure of power, especially when it's pentacles, work, money. He's got your back. I don't know if you feel that way already, but the fact that you guys share the same nationality, that's, that does hold weight. You guys can connect on that level. But furthermore, he's just good at his job. He's a good leader, and he's got your back. He's got your back. This Page of Cups reversed. Okay, this is what I was mentioning earlier that you may not relate to, that maybe you're not feeling this way, but Page of Cups reversed is usually feeling insecure at one's work, feeling a block in being able to feeling blocks in being able to complete one's tasks. Yeah, I feel a connection to him. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this was the card that struck me the most. This was the card that I noticed first when I turned all the cards. I was like, oh damn, we got the King of Pentacles. That's good. That is good. And you're already feeling a good connection to him. That's wonderful. That's really good. And I was sensing that too. And then we got this four of Cups reversed. Four of Cups in its upright position, I never like seeing. But when it's reversed, this is good. This is good stuff. This is making adjustments. I'd say in your case, settling into new adjustments, which we have to do when we're in a new environment. And if I recall, love, I recall reading for you maybe like a year ago or 6 months ago. It was before I moved here, and I believe you told me that your last job. Are you the one I read for? Your last job, you'd been there for like 20 years or something. You were there for a long time. Is that you? They expect speed and perfection, and I am getting overwhelmed. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, and that can lead to burnout, and that needs to be prevented at all times. And your superiors should know that as well. And I hope he understands that. Yes, you know, a lot of companies expect 6 months. Oh, okay. So that was someone else. I'm sorry, love. So okay. So you're at your last one 6 months. Oh, and you were in your last job for 2 years. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so that was someone else. Never mind. I'm sorry, love. We do have this Three of Swords here. And Three of Swords is never a good thing. Three of Swords is indicative of conflicts at work, hurt feelings at work, feeling possibly pessimistic about the future. I was bullied to no end by 4 Pakistani guys that made me leave. I'm so sorry, love. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. Yeah, no, we don't withstand bullying. And remind me. I know this may sound like it's like I'm on a tangent, but it's not. What is your sign, love? Yeah, we need to prevent bullying at all costs. We don't accept that, or when I say we, I mean as humans, we should not accept that at all. Because if we allow it to happen once, those bullies will continue to do so. Then we have this beautiful King of Pentacles, as I mentioned. This is your boss. He's got your back, and right underneath it, we've got this beautiful Wheel of Fortune here. Not only does he have your back, and he's a really good, you've got a really good boss, girl. You've got a really good boss, and he's going to ensure that you're able to do the work. You are a Capricorn. That's so funny. I don't know if you heard me, but I was like, "Are you Capricorn?" Either that was because I read for you in the past, or Capricorns always ask about their work. It's Tauruses, Capricorns, and Virgos always ask about work. The Earth signs. It's really interesting. But yes, King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. He's going to ensure that not only are you able to, he's going to accommodate you to make sure that you can do your work with the highest speed possible, the maximum amount of work possible. But in an accommodating way, not, hey, I'm gonna load you with all this work and you got to get it done. It's like, what? Here's the work that I need you to get done. What do you need in order to get this done efficiently? He may not ask you that like in that way, but that's very much his energy, is accommodation. He understands that the work is intense, and that there are really high expectations. There is just a very high expectation workplace, and he really likes you as an employee already. He feels that this is that you are a wonderful fit for the company with this beautiful Four of Wands here, and he wants to ensure that that you have longevity at your workplace with the Wheel of Fortune. He wants to make sure that you are a member of the team. You are an employee there for an extended amount of time. That this is a long-term job. I don't know if you want it to be a long-term job, but he's going to try and make that happen. He's going to he's going to provide you with, if you need adaptations or adjustments, or I don't want to say special help. I feel like there's kind of a connotation there that isn't favorable, but if you need any accommodations, he's happy to make them. Then we have the World and the Fool reversed here. This is the World is indicative of a very fulfilling career path, one of longevity. As I just mentioned here with this Wheel of Fortune, the World is very, very similar. You mentioned that you're doing the same work, it's just in a different environment. And I mentioned that this job is even though you've been doing this work for a while, you're going to learn a lot more from this environment than you have from the other workplaces that you have been employed at. This Fool reverse card is not saying that you should leave your job, but it's saying that it's quite literally saying it, like the Fool here is quite literal. Don't suffer any fools. Like, do not tolerate foolishness, foolish behavior from your coworkers. Report it, speak your mind, speak, not your mind, but speak your truth. That's also what the Star card is all about, is expressing yourself, speaking, communicating, and someone calling you the B word today for no effing reason, that's not, no, that doesn't, that's not on. That's just not on. And King of Pentacles, I don't know his name, but your boss will not tolerate that either. And I know it can be scary to, at least for me and for people I know, sometimes it can be intimidating to voice those concerns either to HR or to your superior. But they really do have your back, at least in this case, at this job. Then we have this Two of Swords reversed and Three of Wands reversed. I want a little clarity with this Two of Swords reversed here. Okay, I'm glad I got some clarity here. Yeah. Okay, so sometimes this goes back to what I was saying earlier about when we start a new job, how sometimes we can feel like a fish out of water, feel a little insecure. But the Two of Swords reversed is a reminder that to listen to your knowledge, to have faith in your knowledge and your abilities. As you mentioned, this is not a new career move. This is just a new environment. It's just a reminder from Spirit that you've got this. I did complain to him 2 weeks ago. I am not tolerating any BS. Right on. And complained to him again about the B word situation that happened today. I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but I highly recommend that you complain about, that you report her. And I don't know if there's an HR that you go to, or if he's the only one that you can go to. If he's the only one that you can go to, that's fine, because as I mentioned, he has got your back. That was the first thing I noticed, was like, she's got a good boss, and this guy's got her back. Now, I don't know, in terms, so you mentioned, you just said that you complained to him 2 weeks ago. Did he take any action? Or, like was anyone reprimanded in any way? Or what kind of action did he take, if you don't mind me asking? Because I think that will help us understand how he'll move forward. Yep, tomorrow morning. Right on, girl. Right on. You got it. That's what's up. Yeah, then we've got this Three of Wands reversed, which I think is also speaking to the bullying that you've experienced here. When it comes to career, the Three of Wands reversed is usually indicative of feeling frustrated, feeling restricted, or feeling like there are obstacles in the way of you being able to shine as brightly as you can, as the star you are. Oh yeah, no BS. He even asked me if I wanted to make a formal complaint. Have you decided upon that? Making a formal complaint? That's the right, that is so the right, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. He not only did he, well, he didn't take specific action, but he basically said, I've got your back. Like, what would you like to do? You know? we can take it this way, you know, or that way. I would definitely file a formal complaint, and of course report the coworker who called you a B word. That is absolutely unacceptable. That's unacceptable in any environment. And you're a grown ass woman. We're adults here. I'm assuming this was an adult who bullies you. Um, that's absolutely absurd. I mean, that kind of shit isn't tolerated in schools. It's not tolerated anywhere. Or at least it should not be. And especially in the day and age we live in right now, it wasn't worth it. It was a super severe complaint. So I said, not this time. You know, that happened to me once, girl. So I have another job, and I was publicly humiliated and bullied by. I work at schools. I work at art schools. By one of the instructors, and he does it. He doesn't work there anymore. Not because of me, but probably because of someone else. But he would constantly bully his students. I would constantly see that. Um, and I was just kind of waiting for him to bully me. Not waiting, but like it was almost like a matter of time, and he did. And I went to HR, and it was a huge thing, and I had so much going on that I just told my boss I'm not working with him anymore. No more. You can have me work with any other instructor, but not that one. And she respected that. But then I heard from one of the other instructors about a month ago that he doesn't work there anymore. So I have a feeling that somebody else complained about him. I wish I had gone forward with it though, because it was a big pain in the butt in terms of like getting it done, the whole HR process. But it's really worth it when you do it. Because you will see results. You will see the results. So with this B word situation, I would definitely file a formal complaint. Got to do it sooner than later, because as I mentioned earlier, with bullies, if you let them get away with it once, they'll continue. They'll just continue. Um, they'll see you as someone who they can take advantage of in that way. That they can bully and direct their negative energy to. So yeah, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your mom. I'm not God. But highly think it would be. I really think it would be strongly advantageous to file a formal complaint with that situation. You don't want a repeat of the guys that were bullying you at your last job. You know. And I'm really glad that you have this boss. He's really got your back, and you felt it intuitively. I'm going to make another payment. Sure, girl, absolutely. Yeah, no, the queue is free, so we could just keep on keeping on. And thank you so much. Thank you very much. I don't know if Julie is still here. She said she was gonna make another donation, but I don't see her. So that means that the donation queue is currently open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you very, very much. Hey, Wendy girl. Good to see you. Absolutely. I will still be on in 5 minutes. No problem. Drive home safely, hun. Thank you very, very much, Julie, for your donation, love. Thank you. All right, so you want to do another 12 card reading? Oh, there's the questions there. About the 4 guys that I used to work with, I complained about them more than 20 times. So many email complaints about them to my boss, Thomas and Sandra. I left. Will my bullies face consequences for their actions? Let's see. That's a great question. Will karma come in clutch here? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will the 4 guys that bullied Julie at her last job face their consequences? Oh yeah, that's exactly what you said. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences? consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 dudes who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 boys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 guys who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 bullies who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Ancient masters and spirit guides will the 4 dudes who bullied Julie at her last job face the consequences of their actions. Queen of Cups reversed, the Moon reversed, Death reversed, Strength, 6 of Wands reversed, Knight of Swords, sorry, 4 of Pentacles reversed, the Sun reversed, Temperance reversed, 10 of Wands reversed, King of Cups, and the World. Now this is interesting. I need some clarity for this. This is all over the place. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm very pleased to see the World here as the last card. But we've got, there's a lot to unpack here. They, if I'm not mistaken, they worked there for a while, didn't they? Were they like, they'd been there, had they been there longer than you? Or... okay, sorry, I need just a little bit of time. Queen of Cups reversed and Knight of Swords. They were definitely, and I don't, maybe you know this already, but they definitely were reprimanded. At the very least, they were spoken to regarding their actions with this Knight of Swords. This is communication from a superior. Queen of Cups reversed. This is interesting. Queen of Cups reversed is often a sign of somebody who is very insecure in their. Some of them, the IT guy, he was like the worst. Okay, was he like the worst of the 4 of them? I'm guessing. Spirit is saying, and Tarot is saying that, holy shit, these guys are so insecure. I don't know if they've just got no friends, or have never been with a woman, or just have never enjoyed anything in their life, but they're very sad, lonely people. They don't live good lives. And I'm not making excuses for them, and Spirit is not making excuses for them. But that's what Tarot's saying, that it was nothing about you. They're just disgusting people. You nailed it. And I don't like to call people that, but here's the thing: hurt people. I'm sure you've heard that phrase: hurt people, and it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it right. But these are really sad people. Totally in the dark. Yeah, Four of Pentacles reversed, the Moon reversed. These dudes are in really, and I'm not making excuses for them. The IT guy was the one who pissed on the floor. Ew, gross, nasty. Ew, I'm so sorry. That is disgusting. Literally disgusting. Ew, be civilized. My goodness. Yeah, these guys are totally in the dark. All four of them. With this Moon reverse card. And I want, again, I want just a little bit of clarity here, but Spirit is saying what I'm seeing so far is, yes, they are facing the consequences of their actions every day because they're just sad people. I know you were asking, like, in the sense of, were they reprimanded at their work? They were spoken to, and I'm trying to get deeper, and I will get deeper to the actual repercussions of that, how that came to fruition. I think that at least one of them was let go. I think at least one of them was sacked with the Four of Pentacles reversed. Are you aware of that, or is that something that that you wouldn't be aware of? Imagine complaining to my superiors for months and no one was doing anything. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm so glad you got out of that place. I'm so glad. I mean, the energy is so dark with these dudes. I mean, I don't know how well you know tarot, but damn, girl, like these guys are dark. The Moon reversed, the Sun reversed, Death reversed. The problem, I do think that at least one of them was sacked. The problem is that is what I mentioned. Hurt people. They're not going to therapy. They're not looking within. They're not spiritual people. They may claim to be religious, but they're not spiritual people. There's a difference. I mean, I'm religious and I'm spiritual, but there's sometimes a difference. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, even in my synagogue, there's people who will say, I am not a spiritual person, but I'm religious. You know what I mean? Good riddance. I did not know any of them was fired. I do believe at least one of them was. I do believe that at least one of them was. Four of Pentacles reversed. That tells me that one of them was sacked. Death reversed is telling me that there is at least one of them who is still working there. And even the one that was sacked, they're not looking within. They're not changing. Death reversed is someone who is not changing, not moving forward, not looking within. Someone, again, with their dark ass energy. We've got the Moon reversed, the Sun reversed. Pity it took me having to leave before one of them got fired. For real. Like, more than a pity. That's a damn shame, man. That's just not right. Yeah, the Sun reversed. Again, they're totally in the dark. They were spoken to, they were reprimanded, and do I think that they stopped bullying people? The ones that remained, because I do think some of them remained. I think at least one or two of them were sacked, but some of them do work there. And they're still in a very dark place, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were bullying other people and still pissing on floors. I know you said that only one of them pissed on floors, but we'll use pissing on floors as a metaphor of just bullying and just gross behavior. Yeah, we've got this strength card. This is telling me, again, that these people, these guys, are so miserable, so effing miserable. This is telling me that karma's already done their work, done its work. This is not new behavior for them. They've been bullies most of their lives. And it's their way of coping with the fact that they have miserable lives and they don't like themselves. If you love yourself, or at least like yourself, and are, and have awareness of other people, you're not they're emotional vampires. They suck the good energy from others in order to feel better themselves. It is absolutely, I 100% I agree with you. And the fact that some of them are still working there is disgusting to me. I'm happy. I'm thrilled that I know I have a very strong feeling with this Four of Pentacles reverse that at least one of them was sacked. But I do have a feeling that at least one of them still works there too, and that's just, again, disgusting. I think that's the word du jour, at least for this reading. Thank you so much, Wendy, for your donation, my darling, and thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for your donation. Thank you, loves. Sorry, Miss Julie, I just gotta quickly update the list here. Sorry, one sec. There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, then we have this Temperance reverse card right underneath. This is telling me that they have no work-life balance. Like, they're already in such a dark place. Staying at that job is there's no growth within them. There's no happiness in their lives. There's no joy. As I mentioned earlier, these are like prime examples of emotional vampires. Whoa, and I just said, yeah, there's no success, no growth. Bingo. Six of Wands reverse. Trust and believe the ones, or one, we don't know how many were fired or how many were kept, but the ones that are still there are not winning. They're not going to be promoted. They're kind of just going along with, just like coasting, basically. They're not going to be promoted in any way. They're not getting accolades. They're not being told, hey, you did a great job, and then we have this Ten of Wands reversed right underneath. They're not team players, as we know. They are not team players. They are burnt out. That's another part of it. Is like that job is their life. I mentioned that they didn't have no work-life balance. Probably no girlfriends, no friends. I don't know how close they are with their family. Not happy people. Very unhappy, hurt people. And yeah, with this Ten of Wands, that job is like all they have. It's like that's it. And again, I'm not making excuses for them, but that's another reason why they were just on the hunt to bully. They are burnt out. They're unhappy. It's not an excuse at all, but they were absolutely spoken to and reprimanded. This King of Cups is an authority figure, and an authority figure that has a deeper sense of emotional abuse within the workplace, and aims to balance that. So they were absolutely reprimanded. And Spirit is saying, I was so happy when I saw this card. I wanted to see the Wheel of Fortune or the World, because these are my karma cards. These are how I see karma. Yes, will karma serve them? Yes. I have two answers for that. Yes, in the future, it's gonna get worse for them, and it's already bad for them. So my answer is yes and yes. They are already facing the consequences of their actions, and they're going to face more. Pathetic. They also hate women. I have always felt that from them. I felt that too. I felt that too. I mean, recall I kept on saying I don't think they have girlfriends. I don't think they've probably never dated a girl. They probably don't have friends. I kept on getting that energy that they don't have women in their life that they at least that they respect. Maybe they respect their mom. Let's fucking hope. But that would probably be it. But yes, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because that was like, as I was analyzing everything, I'm just like, damn, these dudes. I don't want to call them incels because I hate that term, but they're bitter, and I think part of that bitterness and insecurity is towards women. They found you as a target. And I think that if the ones that are still there have likely found another female target. And I just pray that King of Cups does something about it, and they all get sacked. I know at least one of them has. So hooray for that. But yes, they are definitely misogynistic dudes. And you know, just because a guy has never had a girlfriend or has never been on a date with a girl, that does not, I'm not saying that makes a man a misogynist by any means. No way. But in this case, I kept on getting that sense, like, they don't have relationships with women. And when you don't have, you know, just basic interpersonal relationships with women, whether it be heteronormative friendships or romantic relationships, you know, that's definitely a big part of it. They lack respect for women. They're bitter towards women. And, you know, they may have even, a part of it may have even been, you know, they found you attractive, and and they knew that they would never ever have a chance with you because, you know, they don't know how to talk to women. All they do is bully them. And I've seen this before. It's like little boys, like when we're in second grade, or I don't know what it's called in England. I forget what it's called in England when you're in, I think it's grammar school, grade 2 or year 2, when you're like 7 years old, right? And there's that little boy that has a crush on you, and he's pulling your hair, and there was a little boy that had a crush on me when I was in first grade. He used to call me a rat, and he pulled my hair. He called me Sophie the rat. The dude had a crush on me, and I didn't like him. I remember my mom was friends with his mom, and they like had to like talk to him about it, and like he was really bullying me, and I just didn't like him. I don't like blondes. But yeah, it's very much that energy, which is absolutely, I mean, at when you're 7 years old, okay. When you're a grown-ass man, dude, like, you need help. And that was another thing I mentioned too, is these guys aren't going off and getting therapy or looking within, you know, to improve themselves. That is true, because I cannot stand them, so I ignored them. Precisely. And this happens with a lot of clients of mine, girlfriends of mine. It's happened to me in my dating life. If I, you know, talk to a guy and I'm sorry, I don't really want to go on a date with you. I've been like majorly harassed by guys. They'll say things just to get my goat. Like, oh, there was one guy who claimed that I was a criminal. He saw he checked my criminal background history, which isn't, I've never committed a crime in my life. He was just trying to say anything to get me to respond, because he knew that I didn't do anything. So he knew that I would respond, at least get some kind of attention. He wanted some kind of attention from me. whether it was negative or positive. I just block every single. He's stopped now, but this went on for like 2 months. Called from different numbers, and it's happened to clients of mine too. And it sounds like it definitely happened to you. And it's not right, not okay. Good news is karma has been served. Karma is continuing. That world card, it ain't over. It ain't over. Karma is still affecting them on a daily basis, and they're already in a very dark place. So rest assured, they're not happy. They're not improving. At least one of them was sacked, and you've moved on, and you're in a much better place with wonderful support now. Doesn't excuse their behavior by any means. But I'm just so glad that you found a safe harbor, because nobody deserves that. And thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Julie. I appreciate you very much, and I really hope I brought you clarity there. And I'm so happy you found another job, and you're already slaying. You're gonna slay more. Don't stop the bullies immediately. And that King of Pentacles, he's got your back. You've definitely got an ally, very strong ally. Thank you again, love. Thank you so much. Miss Wendy. Wendy, thank you so much for your donate, girl. How are you doing? There she is. Hello, girl. I hope you're well, Sophie. I am, thank you. I was planning my Portugal trip, and there's a restaurant I wanted to go to, but they don't have an online reservation system. I'd have to call. I don't have an international phone plan to call. I playfully hinted to Samuel that I'd like for him to call for me, and he did. He made a reservation, but put it under his name. Okay. My question is, why did he agree to helping me out? That is so weird. He put it under his name? Weirdo. Let's see about this weirdo. I mean, that was kind of him, but his name? I'm so excited for you, by the way. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to help Wendy out with the Portugal restaurant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to help Wendy out in calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out in calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out in calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out in calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out in calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out and calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out and calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out and calling the restaurant in Portugal? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel agree to helping Wendy out and calling the restaurant in Portugal? Yeah, I don't know why he put it under his name. It was also for 2 people because he said it would be weird to just reserve for 1. But you're traveling solo, and I'm assuming that you just wanted to go to dinner. I go to dinner by myself a lot. That's not weird. Is he planning on going to Portugal too? The Tower. 4 of Swords. Wait, is this reversed or upright? No, this is upright. 4 of Swords. Two of Wands, 10 of Cups reversed, and 10 of Wands reversed. Guess I'll meet someone when I'm there. Yeah, or you'll meet someone when you're there. So this is weird. This is really complicated. Starting with the Tower card, I feel like well, actually, no. I'll start with this 10 of Wands reversed card. The 10 of Wands reversed is sincerely helping someone. Like, genuinely, like, seeing somebody has an issue or a burden, some kind of issue that they need to take care of, and shoulder and helping them with that, with shoulder that burden. And we just received another donation from Sweet Julie. Thank you so much, Julie. Let me quickly add you here to the queue. So he genuinely did want to help you. I need some clarity, though. I need some serious clarity here. Starting with the Tower card. The old ways are no longer useful, and you must find another set of beliefs, values, and processes to take their place. I do feel like there was a romantic ulterior motive here, for sure, with this 10 of Cups reversed. The Tower is telling me, like, hey, everything that I do so far, everything that I've tried to do so far in order to have something with Wendy hasn't worked. He saw a relatively easy way to interact with you, communicate with you, and ultimately help you. The reservation under his name is questionable. That's making me question whether he's thinking about going to Portugal himself. Not even kidding. We have this because we have this Four of Swords right here. Four of Swords is planning, like reflection, thinking about things, taking a break, taking a step back. I don't know if he's able to take a step back from work at this time, but I think that I do think that's a part of it, majorly. And then we have this Two of Wands right here in the center. Two of Wands is decision making. Again, going back to his lack of success in having you in a romantic context. I feel like he saw this as an opportunity to, again, genuinely help you. Excuse me. I want a little bit of clarity here, though. Yeah, plans, making plans. Girl. I just saw that. Thank you so much, sweet Wendy. Thank you. So this, yeah, I am seriously, and I know that's a loaded thing for me to say, but I seriously think that he's considering going to Portugal himself. He genuinely wanted to help you. He genuinely had an ulterior motive. That Ten of Cups reversed, his unmet, unrequited connection with you, his fault on him, which I do believe he knows. I do. And I think that Two of Wands, I think it was like, here's my opportunity to do something different. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean, because it is a convoluted way of thinking. But that's kind of how he rolls, right? Rocket scientist. Not the best when it comes to romance, but burns himself out in work. How does he feel about going to Portugal to see me? Did you ask him about that by any chance? Sorry, give me 1 sec. Or how would he feel? Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how would Samuel feel about going to Portugal to see Wendy? Fun, totally fun, random fact about the country of Portugal that you may know, actually. Portugal is the only country in the world in which all drugs are decriminalized. It is not illegal, like even heroin is not illegal in Portugal. All illicit drugs are legal. They're not manufactured or licensed. It's not legal to, well, it's not illegal to sell them, but if you are caught, you're put in a program. Actually, I think you're put in jail if you sell. But if you are a drug user, if you're caught using like cocaine or heroin or whatever the hell it is, they send you to rehab. And I think they have the lowest. It's resulted in like the lowest drug crime rates in like the world. I'm like, why aren't other countries doing that? Like, help people. Thought of him coming out to see me after all these months is so far-fetched for me. I heard people would try to sell tourists drugs on the street. That checks out. That happens in Amsterdam. I don't know if you've been to Amsterdam, but I was in Amsterdam, and I was not sold drugs on the street because I'm a single lady. As a single lady, you likely will not be sold drugs on the street, but I saw so many groups of dudes that were approached by dealers, like, hey, you want like E, Coke, K, E, K, G, like that was pretty much the three that they were selling, E, K, and G, but not to women, not to me. Amsterdam is similar too. I think I don't think it's the entire country of the Netherlands, but they've decriminalized everything, and of course mushrooms are manufactured there. Truffles. Just an interesting fact. Ace of Cups reversed, the Moon reversed, Knight of Wands, Two of Swords. Sorry, no. Nine of Swords reversed. Holy moly, guacamole. And Knight of Swords. It is a far-fetched thing. It is a far-fetched thing, yeah, because like y'all haven't even seen each other in so long. How would he feel about it? Very insecure with this Ace of Cups reversed. Again, his insecurities taking over his feelings for you. He does. Yes, he would love to. This Knight of Wands, he has desire for you. He would absolutely love to, but he doesn't know how. The moon reversed. He hasn't. We did have the Four of Swords in your last reading, and I said that he was thinking about, he is processing and thinking about taking a step back. I can almost guarantee you he has thought about going to Portugal because he knows you're going to be there. Has he hammered out any plans? Like, I mean, you're making. I think that you're a better traveler than I am. Like, you're making like reservations at restaurants already. When are you? I forget when you're leaving, but you're so on it. Like that. That's more than I do. I usually, well, I make itineraries of like shows I'm going to go to, places I'm going to go to. Um, but you're on it, girl. He's not. He's not. He's nowhere near where you are. Would he like to? Totally. Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. He wants to, and it's on his mind. It's definitely something he has thought about. But it's, again, his anxieties hold him back. This Nine of Swords reversed. He stated, oops, my phone is about to die, and if that happens, everything will fall apart. So we need to plug her in real quick. Okay. He asked me if I needed him to call for anything else, and I said no, that was all, and we haven't talked since. How long ago was that? And I just want just a tiny bit of clarity with this Nine of Swords reverse. I do think I like, it's for sure on his mind. It's for sure something he's been thinking about. But he hasn't done any research. He hasn't looked at flights. He hasn't looked at Airbnbs. He hasn't looked at anything regarding Portugal. Nine of Swords reversed, shame, guilt, mental health issues. His imagination's painting the current situation in a much worse way than it really is. He gets needlessly upset and worried without any reason. Sounds like him. Sounds like him. Last Thursday, I feel like he pulled back after he did that. And I was just going to say, he probably pulled back, didn't he? Yeah, because it's like he moves 2 steps, and then he sees that he's moving forward, and then he freaks out and pulls back. It's all his insecurities. It's and I'm sure you know this. I'm sure I've said this to you. He's into you. We know this. Has nothing to do with anything you said or did. It's not like, I don't want to be with Wendy, or I don't know if Wendy's worth it. No, has nothing to do with that. He would really like to spend time with you in Portugal, but he's so freaking insecure to the point where he does allow his imagination to go forth. Like, it is that Knight of Swords, that Knight of Wands. He has definitely thought, and then making the reservation under his name for 2 people. He has for sure thought about meeting you in Portugal, and he got really excited. This is my theory. He got really excited at first, and then he was grounded. He started to ground himself in the reality. Like, okay, well, I would have to plan this, that, the other, and my relationship with Wendy is not great. Like, I did her this favor, but there's still that weirdness in our communication. Here's something I want to tell you too, that I just got, as the kids say, a download, but I just got a vision. He can't even imagine. He's so insecure, girl, that he can't even imagine walking down the street with you in Portugal, or like having coffee with you in Portugal. He can't imagine having just like a one-on-one conversation with you. That's a big one with him. And you guys used to be able to sustain very long conversations. But since, I guess, the fall, we can call it, um, he's afraid that he can't sustain a conversation with you. Again, it's not on you. It's 100% on him and his insecurities. But is it something that he has thought about? Absolutely, absolutely. And now the reality is starting to kick in. Again, I forget when you're leaving. Excuse me. I know it's relatively soon. But it was like, as soon as he did that favor for you, the reality set in, and he started to think about, well, what would it actually be like if I were to go to Portugal and meet up with Wendy? And he froze. That Nine of Swords reversed, he froze and couldn't even imagine just being normal with you. So again, it goes back to his mental imbalance that needs to be taken care of. Look at me, girl. I'm shaking my head too. I'm shaking my head. I leave at the end of April. I have time. Okay. Yeah. You have lots of time. You're still doing way more than I do before I travel. I'm like right on, girl. Making reservations at restaurants. Like, yes, that's what's up. You're definitely on it. He's not. He's not, and he's also a workaholic. As much as he knows he needs to take a break, I don't think he has in a very, very long time, and I think that idea also puts a lot of fear in him as well. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing with this strange guy. I need to ask him if he put the reservation under his phone number. Yes. Yeah. And possibly ask him if he can, like, change it to your name. Because if you go to the restaurant, they'll say, sorry, you're not Samuel blah blah. You know, that's not, that he helped you, but putting it in his name, that's not helping you. You're not going to be able to go to the restaurant. I mean, you likely will, but that reservation would be null, This place is booked 2 months out. There you go. So never mind. You wouldn't, if it's a really popular restaurant, it's booked 2 months out. Wow, girl. That sounds like a luxury ass restaurant. Nice. But if it's under his name, there's a chance that they won't let you dine there. So it's nice to have a person with a British accent call for me. Aw, girl, I have international call. I have international on my phone. And in fact, I can call England for free if I'm not mistaken. Email me, homegirl, or send me a message on Instagram, and I'll see what I can do for you. Because I believe I can call England for free. England, Canada, and Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I still have some eSIM for my London, when I was in London last month. I think I still have some minutes on my eSIM, so I can try and do it for you, and I can do a lovely British accent. I can do a lovely British accent if you'd like. I could do very posh British accent, or I could do a bit of a Cockney accent if you like. I can do many different British accents for you. Whatever you like, love. Or I can do a French accent if you would like. I can do that as well. That's not a problem for me. I could definitely make a reservation for you. That's no problem because I live in Europe and my friends from California wants to dine at your fantastic restaurant. So I can be French, I can be British, I can do whatever you want. But let's see. Oh, right, it's for Portugal. Shit, yeah. I think I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do because I do have international. I don't know if I can call Portugal, but I'll try. I'm gonna try. I'll ask them to call him if they say no to me. That's a good one. Just ask them to call him if they say no. But I would still reach out to him and be like, dude, can you like change the name if you could? Yeah. Weirdness. And thank you so much. We just received another donation from Miss Julie. Thank you. Thank you so much, Wendy. I'm sorry he's being such a weirdo, and yeah, if that's damn, yeah, because I know I have minutes in England. I don't think I do in Portugal, but I'll check it. I wish I could help you, and I'll do my best. You're so welcome, sweetheart. You are so very welcome. Love and light to you, girl. All right, Miss Debbie. Debbie, thank you for your donation, love. Miss Debbie, are you here? We got Debbie on deck. Here she is. Hello. A general reading for March and April. Okay. So, how about we do this, because you donated for a 10-card reading. How about we, do you, I think it would be best to, and tell me what you think, because it's your reading, but I think it would be best to split it into 2 readings, one for April, or sorry, one for March, one for April, so it doesn't get convoluted. Is that cool? All right. Let's do it. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? I always forget your sign, Debbie. And this happens with Tauruses and Aries. I often mix up Tauruses and Aries. I know your daughter, either your daughter's an Aries or a Taurus. I know you're either an Aries or a Taurus. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Debbie's March go? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will March go for Debbie? Let's make me smaller. There we go. Okay. All right, hun. We have 10 of Pentacles. Girl, you know the star is my favorite card, but the 10 of Pentacles, in my opinion, is the strongest card. Aries, March 28th, and Janina is a Taurus. Okay, so you're an Aries. Okay, and I will remember that because Aries comes before Taurus, and you came before Janina. We have 10 of Pentacles, super strong, honey. The Hermit, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands reversed, and 6 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Ups and downs. what's the phrase? Chutes and ladders, turns and roundabouts. So starting with this Ten of Pentacles, as I mentioned, I feel like this is the most powerful, strongest card in the deck. This is about family. This is about feeling financially confident, feeling as though you don't. There's nothing that you're needing. It's also a card of unions, reunions, homecoming. But feeling very, very supported and optimistic. Then we have some other energy coming up for March. We have this Hermit card. The Hermit is indicative of reflection. In some contexts, it can be taken literally, being on one's own, taking space to be alone, to reflect on things. That's not the energy that I'm getting with this card. The energy that I'm getting more from this Hermit card is I take it back. I actually take it back because I'm looking at this Four of Wands reversed. Yeah, I see you taking time to reflect on things on your own, because unfortunately I do, with this Four of Wands and Six of Pentacles reverse. This is showing me that there's someone, I'm thinking your hubby, who is not on board again, is still not on board with something major that you're wanting to occur in your life. Florida is what I'm assuming. But we do have this Four of Pentacles right here. Lately, I feel like, okay, so it is more of a literal kind of thing, and it's still winter. It is getting, I don't know if it's getting warmer for you. It's getting a little warmer here, but it's still kind of that time. But with this Four of Pentacles, this is telling me that you're not going to lose anything financially. Especially financially, you're going to be great. You're going to be fine for the month of March. And it's not a matter of, you won't be letting go of your dreams, or you'll still be holding on to them. You'll still have optimism regarding your move, regarding projects that you're looking to do, looking to complete. So that's what I'm seeing for March is yes, self-reflection, but definitely promise. You likely won't see eye to eye with your husband. I'm assuming it's your husband. Hell no, it's cold like a witch's colder than a witch's titty. I love that phrase. You're on the East Coast. That stands to reason for sure. So yeah, Ten of Pentacles, strongest card in the deck in my opinion. Dreams won't be lost. Just I do see some conflict, not conflict, but disagreements. Not seeing eye to eye completely. Just give me one moment, one sec. All right, and now we're going to look into April. Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, how will April go for Debbie? We have Ace of Cups reversed, Two of Swords reversed, Five of Swords reversed, Page of Wands, and Ace of Swords. Okay. Now this is confusing. I need a little help. I need a little assistance here. Because we've got some really conflicting energies. Starting with this Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, I didn't. It's exactly what I thought. I was hoping for an additional definition that might be more pleasant, but yeah, Ace of Cups is you mentioned that you feel like you're in hermit mode right now. Ace of Cups reversed is, I don't want to say it's a negative result of being in hermit mode, but being in hermit mode has its advantages for sure, but it, as you know, can also have its disadvantages. And if you literally, don't communicate with others that often that you usually do, it can result in feelings of isolation, loneliness, either lack of self-love or feeling unloved or unappreciated. And Two of Swords is indicative of deep confusion. I mean, the traditional artwork is someone who's in the dark of night. The moon is behind them, and they're blindfolded. They can't see. Not only are they in the dark, but they're also blindfolded, and they have two swords, and they can't choose which sword. When it's in its reversed form, it's like something that has been already causing you confusion is like I've mentioned how the moon card is almost exactly the same when it's in its either upright or reversed. Two of Swords is very similar. It's like doubled down confusion, like something that you were already confused and unclear about. It's like now it's just like now there's like too much information, like information overload, which can definitely cause anxiety, and at least in my experience, when I am in a Two of Swords reversed position, sometimes I get so overwhelmed that it's like I would almost like either I avoid the situation, which is not good, or I just pray that someone else could make that decision for me, because it's too much. But then we have this Five of Swords reversed that I want some clarity on as well. Things get better. The beginning of April, the end of March are going to be a little bit tough. But towards the end of April, remember how we had that Six of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Wands reversed? That indicated that there would be some kind of disagreement or not seeing eye to eye with someone regarding something. I see reconciliation with this beautiful Five of Swords reversed. Five of Swords reversed is definitely a really good reversal card. It's something that you do. People are always afraid of reversals, but I'm telling you, there's some really good ones, and that's definitely one. It's coming to a compromise, resolution, seeing eye to eye with someone that you in a situation in which you previously did not see eye to eye. Then we have this beautiful Page of Wands here. Momentum, regained momentum, regained, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, momentum, desire, focus, motivation, taking charge. The Page of Wands takes action. It's the beginnings of taking action. We have Page, then Knight, Queen, then King. Page is the beginnings of taking action. Speaking of beginnings, we also have this Ace of Swords, starting to communicate better with someone who is not a great communicator in your life. And that may be more than one person. I think you've mentioned that your husband can sometimes not be the best communicator, or be a little kind of quiet sometimes, just non-expressive. That I'm not saying that he's going to completely change as a human being, but I see if it's not him, at least someone else, like welcoming a dialogue with you, and not just like a single dialogue, but continued conversation and open communication. Not just open communication, but successful communication that leads to action. The Ace of Swords is most definitely a victory card. It's a win card as well. I am correct. Yeah. And he's not gonna do, he's not gonna do a complete 360. He is who he is, and people do all change in ways as we get older. People say that people don't change, and I've definitely heard that people are once they're a certain age, they're totally set in their ways. I disagree with that. I've just met far too many people and know too many people, and have known them for very long, and have seen the changes in them over the years. And they don't happen overnight. But I do see a door opening for sure, and that door of communication leading to productivity, leading to something successful, a victory, a win, a dream that you've had, a wish fulfillment, a dream come true. So, in short, the beginning of March looks good. The end of April looks fantastic. I don't want to say that the rest of March and the beginning of April are going to be bummers, because I don't like saying that. The cards are just picking up current energies. We have free will. We have the power to alter, not reality, but yeah, we do have the power to alter certain realities and take action and change things. So nothing is completely set in stone. So I don't want you to walk away from this reading thinking that it's going to be, the next 2 months are going to be really tough, because that's just not the case. It's just, I do see some disagreements, but but I don't see like really heavy energy. It's more just not seeing eye to eye, but then I do see you. I do see a resolution by the end of April. So looking good, my friend. And yeah, moving a good way of moving forward. I see things moving forward in a positive way. So that is what I see for you, my love. Thank you so much, Debbie. I always appreciate you, and really hope that I brought you some clarity this evening. Thank you. And you stay warm, girl. I know I love that. It's colder than a witch's titty. Yeah, you stay warm. You have mentioned coming to New York. Have you made plans yet? I did mention coming. I went to New York. I visited New York a couple of years ago in the fall. I'd love to go back. I don't have any plans to go back soon. I have a friend who lives there. I had a big crush on him, and we were kind of sort of dating, and we're not now. I don't know. If I asked to stay, we're still very good friends. If I asked to stay with him, I don't know if he would have me stay with him, and that's what I want. But anyway, if I come to the East Coast, girl, the last time I was in the East Coast, I don't think I'd met you yet. This was like 2 years ago. But next time I'm there, I'm gonna give you a call, and we'll have a 420 sesh. That would be a dream. That would be so much fun. 420 time with Miss Debbie and Sophie. We would be a force to be reckoned with, for sure. For sure. Miss Julie J. Julie J, thank you for your donations, my love. Thank you, thank you. So let's get into this currency converter. No, don't want that. I'm looking for here. Okay. So, for your first question, let me know which one has been fired, the IT Pakistani guy or one of the security guys. There were 3 of them. Okay. We can do like a 6-card reading for that, love. I can stay at Chateau de Cruzel. Oh my goodness, girl, that is tempting. That is tempting. How far do you live from New York? Ooh, dropped something. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Julie, do you have their names? Because that would bring me the clarity that I need. Because then I could do a throwdown. I'll explain what a throwdown is in a moment. Well, I'll explain right now. If I have their names, I'll have a card for each one of them, and it'll show me, like, specifically who has been fired. Yeah, and it was 4 of them. 6 cards. So 2 of the cards will be general energies, and then we'll do 1 card for each of the dudes. The disgusting creatures. But I just need their names. I don't need their. If you have their signs, that would be helpful, but it's not necessary. IT Pakistani is called Ali. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And do you know the security guys' names? $90 minutes. That's not bad, girl. That's not bad. Is there a train or something that goes there? Could always rent a car, too. Do you go to New York often? If I lived an hour and a half away from New York, I'd be there probably like at least once a month. I think the last guy I complained about is Callum Abraham. I think. I am not sure. Oh, Callum. That's so British. Callum. Callum and Nigel. They're always Callum and Nigel. So British. Okay, Callum, Ali, Mohammed, and do we know the other one? And if you don't know the other one's name, did he have a nickname or something? And I'm 90 minutes away from Boston, and we should also go to Salem. I've never been to Salem, and I love Boston. I haven't been in years. That girl, we'd have so much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to think about this for sure. That sounds like a blast. Abraham. Okay. Okay, so we've got Ali, Callum, Muhammad, and Abraham. Or wait, did you say that one guy's name was Callum Abraham? Or sorry, I just want to get it straight. I'm gonna get it all right. The other Muhammad. Oh, there's two Muhammads, Ali and Abraham, and you don't know the name of the fourth. Okay, so there's no Callum involved. We'll just give the fourth one a nickname. We'll call him Doo-Doo Head. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just refer to him as fourth, I guess. Spirit doesn't like it when I name names, when I call people names. Okay, so we got Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, and fourth guy. Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Was Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Were Muhammad, Ali, Abraham, or the fourth guy fired from their job? So I'm going to show you. Yes, think hard on it. Plus, we can stay at the haunted hotel. Yes, you mentioned that too, Debbie. The Warren Hotel, right? Or the museum. Is that the one you're referring to? Okay, so here's how this works, Julie. So this is Muhammad. This is Ali. This is Abraham. This is the fourth guy. And these are the two general energies. Okay? So first general energy, we have Queen of Wands reversed. This is Muhammad. Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay. This is Ali. Three of Cups. This is Abraham. Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is fourth guy, the Sun. General energy again. Haha! Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, all right, girl. I got some good news and I got some bad news. Muhammad was fired. Page of Pentacles reverse. Pentacles, girl, work. He's no longer working there. Muhammad is gone. Ali is still there. Ali is still there with the Three of Cups. He's still there working with other folks. Abraham is for sure gone. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Eight of Pentacles is literally steady, paid, solid work at a company. When it's reversed, it's for sure someone's been fired. So Muhammad and Abraham have been fired. Ali is still there. Fourth guy is still there with the sun. He's still there. However, these general energies, check this out. Again, I don't know how well you know tarot, but Three of Pentacles reversed. This is telling me that Ali and fourth guy will not be there much longer. So there were two of them were sacked. And the Three of Pentacles upright is about collaborative working well with people, working well with others. The general energy is these dudes, these disgusting people do not work, they don't play well with others. Ali pretends to with others, and so does fourth guy. And they've skidded by with that. They're able to fake it a little bit. Whereas Muhammad and Abraham, no. They're in a much darker place. They're all in a dark place, but these two are in a much darker place. And yeah, Queen of Wands reversed. That's definitely a, I don't know if your boss was female, but that's a female leader who is taking action in a really strong way. Wands being action, and in its reverse form, like, we don't need this energy, we don't need your, wands are the realm of energy and action. It's like, we don't need your energy here at this company anymore. It compromised one of our employees. She left. That, like, and you were the cause of that. Sandra, yeah, Queen, that's her. And I don't know if she was a good boss to you. I hope she was. But even if she wasn't, she kicked his bum. She definitely kicked two of their bums. I think she tried to kick these two guys. I think she definitely had a talk with them, especially with the sun, the Three of Cups. These are definitely communication cards. She definitely had a talk with these guys. She didn't fire Ali or the fourth guy. They're still there, but they're on thin ice. They are on thin ice right now. They've got to watch their backs, and they're constantly watching their backs because they were highly reprimanded. She loved you. There you go. She had your back. That's a great love. That says so much about you, Julie. It really does. You already have a really solid connection with your current boss, your new boss now, that wonderful King of Pentacles. I don't even know his name. You don't need to tell me. I'm just going to call him King of Pentacles. She's a tough cookie. Yeah, for sure. She takes action. She's a woman of action. Yeah. And she clearly appreciated you and your work, and it really upset her that they were the reason, essentially, that you left. That's really problematic, and she saw that, if their actions are, brought one employee to this level, they're likely going to do it again. Like I mentioned earlier, like, if bullies get away with it once, if they're not reprimanded, they'll keep on doing it. They'll keep on acting with their bad behavior. So I'm so glad she loved you. You deserve love. You're a good woman, good employee. And the fact that your supervisors, your superiors are on board with you, that's the most powerful thing here. That's a wonderful thing. I feel so sad. I love that job so much. So sad. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. I don't want to make you sad. I feel you. When you have a close affinity for a job, and then someone has to ruin it for you. I've been there. It feels like the Five of Swords. It's like you did everything right. You were a good employee. You were appreciated and loved by your superiors. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. But the great news is that not just one, but two of them have been sacked. And as I mentioned earlier, the other two are on very thin ice. Very thin ice. And I'm looking at your second question. We're talking about black cats. Do you see it behind me? You've probably noticed it, right? My black cat. Underneath it, you can't see it, but underneath it says the protector. I used to have two black cats. Well, they weren't mine, but my roommate, the last place I lived at, he had two black cats. I want to say we, because I was there when he adopted them. I like kind of raised them, Henri and Andre. Henri was just like this big floppy, furry guy that was afraid of everyone except for me and my roommate, and he would let me put him in dresses. He would let me dress him up. Like, he was the funniest little dude. And Andre, I used to call him Concern. My nickname for Andre was Concerned. He was always just like taking care of everything. He was the protector. He was totally Henri's like brother. It was kind of like of mice and men. Like, Henri is kind of like not super smart. Andre was smart as hell, and like they were definitely bonded. And he was always making sure that not just Henri was okay, but like if I was feeling sad, I'm not even joking. If I was feeling sad, he would clock that. I would see Andre just on the center of my bed waiting for me. Like, he could tell when I was sad and needed his love. Miss those cats a lot. Let's talk about your cats. Black cats are honestly the best. And she wasn't yours either. Wow. When I moved into my new flat, I think Jerry visited me in spirit form. I kept getting a very strong image of a black cat. What do I need to know? Very interesting. Okay. That's fascinating. I love that question. Because I really feel like I was actually thinking about this not too long ago. I really feel, really, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, no, black cats mean a lot to me. You know, they're people are racist against black cats. And we know people are racist against black people, but they're the least adopted cats. It's really effed up. I know you're from England. In England, black cats are good luck. That's what I was always raised. I'm British. I was born in England. My family's from England. I was always raised to believe that black cats are good luck. Not here. Not in the States. Sucks. Jerry was my landlord's cat. Okay. My landlord in 2011 hated me. I'm sorry, honey. Okay, Miss Debbie. Love and light to you too, hun. You have a great rest of your night. All right, so that's around 2666. So we can do what should yeah, that's like we can do like a 12-card reading again. So let's get right into this. Let's see what the meaning behind. So you want to know the meaning behind your dream, correct? Sorry, one sec. All right, you got it, love. It was not a dream. I felt a black cat with me and a mental picture of a black cat all day with me. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you for clarifying. It was during my waking hours. Okay. So you want to know, and what would do you know? Okay, so the black cat's name was Jerry. Okay, I thought the landlord's name was Jerry. Jerry, what a great name for a cat. I always name cats human names. It's more dignified. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about, how do I phrase this? What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? And we're using the cat deck today too. That's crazy. I have I have a black cat tarot deck too. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about her the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does Julie need to know about the spiritual visitation that she had from Jerry? Do you know the Chat Noel picture? I kept seeing that picture over and over again in my mind's eye. I used to have that the Chat Noel poster behind me. I don't know how long I've been reading for you. I'm pretty sure I read for you when I lived in my last place. I moved in September, but behind me I don't know if it showed actually, but yeah, I had that poster, the absinthe, because I love absinthe as well. The Chateau Noel. Yeah. It's funny how, yeah, black cats are, like, people are totally afraid of them in America. Are you aware of that? Like, not totally, but a lot of people, like, if a black cat crosses your path, like, it's like bad luck. I'm like, shut the hell up. It's completely opposite. An orange cat crossed my path today. Page of Wands reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, Page of Cups reversed, Knight of Pentacles. Why are these all court cards? Wow, okay, except the Devil reversed, Knight of Wands, the Sun, Two of Cups, Nine of Wands reversed, King of Cups, the Emperor, and Queen of Cups. Wow. We have these are primarily court cards. I'm sure you've noticed. Wow. Okay. This cat loved you. Still, is he still around, do you know? You said it was 2011, so, and I don't know how old he was, so he may not be with us anymore. But this cat loved the shit out of you. He loved you so very much. I know you said your landlord wasn't crazy about you, but Jerry was. Jerry thought you were the bee's knees. He thought you were the nip, girl. He thought you were the cat's nip. He thought you were the cat's pajamas. And he noticed. He noticed when you left with this Page of Wands reversed. there was definitely a bond between the two of you. Here, they're scared of nature spirits too. I've had interesting experiences with some spirits, nothing scary. Probably dead. Yeah, it was a while ago. Aw. Probably rest in peace, sweet Jerry. Um, that's interesting. Scared of nature spirits. I was in London. Well, I was in London in January, but I was in London 3 years ago for my birthday in January. And I went to Highgate Cemetery to visit George Michael. And as I was trying to find his grave, a beautiful fox crossed my path. And you don't see foxes very often in California. I don't think they really live here. And I was so just taken aback by it. And so I started following the fox. And just quick, sorry, a side story. So I started following the fox. And I was with my friend who was trying to help me find George's grave. And my friend was like, Sophie, stop, Sophie. And I'm like, shut up, like, please, like, I'm trying, like, how often do I get to see a fox? Like, I want to get a picture of this fox. And he was like, no, Sophie, stop. And I was like, what? He was like, look. And I was at George Michael's grave. Like, not even kidding. I swear that fox led me to George's grave. Anyway, so but that's just me. I love animals, and I don't see them as negative. But yeah, no, there's people who definitely see things as negative, like crows. I saw a crow on top of my car the other day, and a bunch of other birds around it, and I thought it was cool as hell. No birds on any other cars in this totally loaded parking lot in San Francisco, and there was just like thousands of birds on my car. I'm like, that's cool. I think that's cool. We will do a reading sometime about my very interesting experiences for sure. I would love to hear those, hun. I would love to hear those. And we've got this. Yeah. So you mentioned, and you mentioned, poor thing. I moved out. I felt so sad to leave her. Wait, was Jerry? Jerry was a little girl. And Jerry, I was just going to mention, Jerry was not a fan of their owner, of your landlord. I'm sure you're noticing. I know I mentioned that not all reverse cards are bad, but when we're talking about court cards like this is dark energy, and this is telling me this is how he felt about your landlord. This is how he felt about you, because we've got this huge juxtaposition here. He felt very bitter that you had to leave, or that you left. He was resentful towards his owner, and he wanted clarity. I would not be. I don't know how far you moved, but I would not be. And I don't know if he was indoor or she was indoor. It was a girl. I'm sorry. I don't know if she was indoor or outdoor, but I feel like she tried to find you. She definitely dreamed about you. And I know you said that it wasn't a dream, but I believe, this is just me. I'm just a lady who reads cards and likes cats a lot. What do I know? But my belief is, I think there is a lot of power in dreams, and I think it's possible. And I don't know if it's been proven, but I totally believe that animals dream. I mean, have you observed cats and dogs when they're sleeping? You know what I mean? Like, they definitely have little dreams. And I have every reason to believe that she dreamed of you quite a bit. And I believe there's power in those dreams. And I believe that her dreams had she was outdoor, indoor. Okay, she definitely went on a little journey to find you. She was really, really, like, just flipped upside down when you left. She loved you so much. Oh, this Page of Cups reversed. You were her sunshine. You were literally like the light in her life. Like, I'm not going to say that her landlord abused her, but just he was neglectful. He didn't hurt her, but he didn't let she was loved every day. whereas you did. Two of Cups. Two of freaking Cups. She adored you, and you adored her. And that's the thing about cats and dogs, but mostly cats. Dogs love everyone. Cats love you if you love them. That's my theory. That's always, most cat, and every cat's different, just like every human's different. But most cats, if they sense that you like them, they like you. And most people I know who say they don't like cats, I'm like, hey, like, have you ever, most of the time they usually have never had one. I'm like, and you know what? If you like project that energy to a cat that you don't like it, they're not going to be nice to you. Likely, they will either be indifferent or mean. I am sure Jerry knew why I left. She knew I hated the landlord. Yeah, she shared the same sentiments as you, hun. She really did. This Knight of Pentacles and Nine of Wands reverse is furthermore telling me that she tried to find you. You were a part of her life. You were just part of her regular life. I'm assuming you lived there for quite a while, at least for a year or two, and you made a big impact in her life. She was very Two of Cups, divinely ordained love. I love that I'm using the cat deck today too. And then this Nine of Wands reversed. At a certain point, she just had to resign herself to the fact that she couldn't find you and that you were gone, and it broke her heart. It broke her little heart. She realized that you had let the devil reverse, that you had the bond, the physical bond between the two of you living there, her living there, was gone. That bond had been broken, has been broken. But she still had love for you. She never lost her love for you. She did, but she was fully aware, obviously, that you left and that you weren't coming back. At first, she thought you were coming back. That's the sad thing. She thought it was temporary at first, and she was really hoping that you'd come back. King of, oh God, this is so sweet. King of Cups and Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is what I'm saying about. Yeah, I don't want to put all cats into a category. That's like putting all humans into a category. Every cat is totally unique. Every dog is totally unique. But behavior-wise, they're very intuitive, and especially black cats. I think they have higher levels of intuition. She knew how much you loved her. Just like I was saying about Andre, he wouldn't even have to see me shed a tear, but he'd be on the center of my bed waiting for me. Cause he would just know that I was sad or had a bad day or whatever the case may be. He was always there for me intuitively, and that intuition carried into your waking life. Black cats are really something else. The Egyptians had it right. I was watching a TikTok the other day. There's this cat I love, Seamus the Scottish Fold. I follow a lot of catfluencers. I follow Gumbus, Seamus, Merv, the talking Siamese cat, Shaky McWobbles, the calico who has MS. I follow a lot of cats online, but yeah, there's one cat, Seamus the Scottish Fold, and there was a hilarious TikTok the other day. They're like, it was just Seamus sitting there. He's a black cat, black Scottish Fold, and he's just this big floof, and he's just sitting there, and he sits with his legs out too. And the caption said, playing Egyptian music to see how my cat responds. And he started playing like ancient Egyptian like chants, and Seamus woke the hell up. He was like, "What? Huh? Like, my people." Heartbreaking. This is why I believe Jerry came to visit me in spirit form in my current apartment. Totally, absolutely. Here we have the Emperor. I know she was a girl. I know Jerry was a girl, but she wanted some autonomy. She wanted some agency in being able to see you again. part of me wonders if cats are aware of their power, of their spiritual strength, their abilities, because she definitely had deep love for you and intention too. Like I said, I have every reason to believe that she went on a little journey to find you. But she was but a wee cat, and she could only go so far. So she never found you again physically, but she dreamt of you. That love was there. If she's still around, that love's still there. She's likely not with us anymore, but that love was with her until the day she passed, if she is not with us anymore. Oh, sweet Jerry. But it sounds like you just had to get out of that place. He was not a good landlord. I mean, shit. If that's what I'm saying. If a cat doesn't like a person, especially their owner, they're sensing that that there's no love, that there's possible neglect, possible abuse. I don't think she was abused. Again, I'll repeat that. I don't think that your landlord abused her, but I believe your landlord totally neglected her and did not let her know that she was loved, and possibly didn't love her. Maybe I don't know if your landlord is a man or a woman, but Jerry might have just been kept as a mouser, you know? I know some people who get cats just to get rid of the rodents. And yeah, like my parents, they have a neighbor, or of course they have a neighbor. One of their neighbors has a cat. His name, oh my God, his name's Jerry. That's so crazy. So, okay, so my parents, they have a neighbor, they have a few cats that come to their door. They have a cat themselves, but they have, the cat distribution system happens, and some of the neighbor cats come by, and yeah, Jerry is a mouser, and he seems very desperate for love. Yeah, but you had to do what you had to do, Julie. You had to do what you had to do. You had to leave. Um, but and you and I'm sure she understands. He did. Yeah. Sounds like the other Jerry that my parents' neighbor's Jerry. He's I always he's hard to give cuddles to, but I can tell he wants them. Like he'll come up to me, I give him treats. He'll let me pet him, but he doesn't let me cuddle him like the other cats, the other neighbor cats. But he's always he always observes when I'm cuddling the other cats. Like, damn, like that's something I like. It's sad when people just have cats as mousers. My favorite restaurant in Paris has a resident cat. His name's Bobo, and he's my best friend. He's so cute. He always remembers me every time I go back, and he lives there in the restaurant. He's definitely a mouser, but he's loved. He gets so much love. He's a ladies' man too. He only eats with the ladies. He'll just like sit down next to the single ladies and chow down with us. Bobo's too funny. But yeah. Anyway, going back to your Jerry. She loved you so much. She loved you so deeply. And it is sad that you had to leave. I hear you. But yeah, you're glad you left. Yeah. Anyway, well, that is what I'm seeing for you, sweet Julie. Thank you very, very much for your donations and your questions. They've all been really interesting and insightful, and good. Definitely good news with the new job that you've got. Congrats on that. I really feel like you're in a much better environment. And I know that you're in a much better environment than you were in, and which you deserve. And sounds like you're doing great. And yeah, not putting up with any BS. No BS. Onwards and upwards. And sorry about the internet tonight. My goodness, it keeps on going in and out. It's so irritating, and I'm sure it's irritating for all y'all. So I apologize for that, even though there's nothing I can do about it. But thank you so much. I, again, really, really appreciate you. Okay, so my phone just died. That's not key. Give me 1 sec here. What's going on? There we go. Okay. All right. Anyway, see you again in a few weeks. Absolutely, love. Absolutely, Julie. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you again. And yeah, you're slaying at work, and you're gonna slay even more. You're doing great. All right, so I've been on for a little over 3 hours. So it is that time of night, my friends. We are all through with donations. So it is last call tonight for any and all donations. If you have a question that you would like me to answer for you, now would be the time to ask. I will not be on tomorrow night. I don't know if I will be on Wednesday. Let's see. Or sorry, Thursday. Yeah, I might not be on Thursday either. I've got a late day on Thursday. So I definitely won't be on tomorrow. I'll do my best to go on Thursday. Friday is likely. Oh, wait, no. Friday. Likely won't be able to go on Friday either. I've been a busy, busy bee. So, yeah, if you have a question, I highly recommend now would be the time because I won't be on for another few days. Although as you guys all know, I take private. You can schedule a private reading with me. We can definitely do that this week. I can fit that into my schedule when we do private readings one-on-one. Or you can always do a private reading. That's no additional donation amount. You just send your donation, your question, and I get back to you over Instagram or email. Last call tonight, last call for any and all donations. If you have a question, please send it now or let me know in the chat. I can't tell you how many times I've signed off because I always give it 3 minutes. I can't tell you how many times I've signed off and then I get like 3 donations. I'm like, ah. So yeah, if you do have a question, just either send in your donation right now or just type in the chat, I got a question. I'm sending in. Last call tonight, last call for any and all donations. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've had a lot of very insightful readings tonight. Julie had I don't know if she's still here, but she had some really insightful questions. Last call, everyone, for any and all donations. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do my best to go on Thursday. I might be. Yeah, it's probably gonna be tough. I'll do my best. I'll. That's all I can do is my best. Well, it looks like everyone is happy and taken care of, and there's no questions. So I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you all so very, very much. Much love and light to you. And I will try to see you guys on Thursday. I'll try to see you guys on Friday. I won't see you tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be Saturday. Much love and light to you.